What's up, y'all? It's Justin's World, uncut, coming at you live in the 401 area. I am the man with the mystique, physique, the one and only Justin Allen, and we are going to talk a little basketball, but unfortunately, this time it's to talk about something tragic that took place in the NBA Finals. But me being the class act that I am, no disrespect to Cavalier Nation, I would make a video anyway congratulating the Golden State Warriors on their championship victory in the finals and reviewing my post thoughts on the 6 games that took place on the NBA's grandest stage. Now, starting off things in game one, as you know, it was in Golden State, and this game to me is sort of like a video game. It's sort of like, when you're having a bad game and something, and then after you lose, it asks you if you want to continue, and then it gives you like that 10 countdown, and you can hit the X button, and it will give you basically a second chance at life. If you don't do that, it will say game over. But it was like that with me because in game one, LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers had the ball in the final possession, and it was do or die. The worst thing that could possibly happen was the game going into overtime. It was not like they could lose. I think the game was tied. I think it was like probably 94 all or something like that. I don't remember all the way back then. But LeBron James has Andre Iguodala draped all over him, and instead of taking it to the basket, he does a fall away jump shot that misses. Tristan Thompson goes to collect the miss as a bounce ricochet off of the rim. He misses, and the game goes into overtime. And in that period, that's when Kyrie Irving gets his injury. And that had a huge impact on the rest of the series. As you know, Cavaliers only scored 2 points in overtime. Golden State goes on to win it, takes an easy 1-0 lead. And then in game two, the Cavaliers go and take the momentum right back with a really, really impressive showing. I was really, really happy to see them tie it up. Going into game three, finally back home, crowds pumped, teams doing well because Dellavedova was really, really sticking it to Steph Curry and bothering him. And the reason why Dellavedova has so much success, or at least in the beginning that he did, was because they don't expect him to help. They know he's not a very athletic guy. He's not a very agile guy. He is a great defender. And if he is playing Steph Curry straight up, it denies him the ball. And because of all those possessions that Steph Curry doesn't have the ball, he gets out of shooting rhythm. He gets cold, and believe it or not, he misses. He is human. It was a brilliant game plan strategy and worked. And you know what? Even though the Golden State Warriors came back, had Dellavedova not been forced to play all those minutes because of the injuries, then it probably would have continued to work on the remainder of the series. I mean, you can't guarantee it, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it was working. It did break to a certain degree, but only because the Cavaliers were rolling with 7 guys, and Golden State was 10 deep all the way through. Not to take anything away from it, I don't want you guys to think that I can't give no props to Golden State for a fantastic year that they had. I am. I'm just saying, if there's an elephant in the room about how they had an advantage, then allow me to be the guy to point it out. They had an advantage. They're still a great team, and I do believe they are capable of beating the Cleveland Cavaliers if the Cleveland Cavaliers are 100% healthy, because you know how well this team operates. You know how well they shoot the ball. They're great offensively and defensively. They really are a complete team, and they're capable of beating anyone. But allow me to put my money on LeBron James and Cleveland Cavaliers if they're 100%. Anyways, going into game four, it was looking bad. It was looking really, really bad. The story of the night was the adjustment that Golden State made on defense and the pace that they was able to finally get. They made it a very, very fast-paced game, and Cleveland's gas tank started to deplete. And the best shots that they were getting on offense all night were elbow jumpers from the baseline. There was not a whole lot of trips to the free throw line. There wasn't a whole lot of attack in the basket. And it really, really worked in Golden State's favor because the Cavaliers were shooting so poorly. I mean, they really, really left their jump shot at home. They had a pile of bricks in the first half, enough to build a house, enough to build a whole neighborhood, and then only in the second half did they contribute with that brick pile to make a mansion of bricks. I mean, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. That basket has to have looked like a trash lid to them. Going into Game 5, it was all Golden State again. They're finally back home, so the adrenaline's pumping through them with their home crowd awaiting their return to take the lead in the series. That's exactly what they did. It almost made Game 6 unwatchable. I wanted to believe that the Cavaliers had a little something deep down inside of them to win Game 6 and force a Game 7, but it just was not to be. Andre Iguodala with the sensational performance. Steph Curry, what can you say about Steph? He got it done. He has really evolved into a top 5 player in the league this year because of what he's been able to do offensively. This man now has an MVP and a championship added to his resume, and he's still so young. There's no telling what is in store for him. As for Cleveland, there's some talk about them snatching LaMarcus Aldridge from Portland, and there's been talk about them re-signing Kevin Love. I really believe that Kevin Love is a great addition to this team, but I believe they could have won without him. He's a finesse player. Tristan Thompson seems to play with him not there a lot better. And because Tristan Thompson is such a rough rider, and because that's what the Cleveland Cavaliers need, because they already have plenty of finesse, it worked. But without Kyrie, that forces LeBron to have to play additional minutes that he can't play and compete at an elite level all 4 quarters against a team this deep. So it was a tall mountain for them to climb. Congratulations to Golden State. And off to the draft, the free agency. Alright, that's all I got to say about this for now. Peace.